Bottling fruit is a wonderful way of preserving the best of seasonal produce. Here I've got homegrown apricots that I'm going to bottle that I can use throughout the rest of the year. You'll need some empty large jars, and you need to try and stack the apricots in as tightly as possible. I like to have it cut side facing out only because it looks attractive, but certainly don't need to. Once you've filled your bottles, and then we fill up the bottles with even just plain water. If you want to make a sugar syrup, that's fine. And you'll find that there's going to be air pockets that you need to try and dislodge using a long skewer. Try and get rid of any of those air bubbles that are trapped in there. Also a good idea to put a squeeze of lemon in each of the bottles just to help acidify the solution. We always leave at least 1 to 2 centimetre what we call headspace or empty gap at the top, and then seal tightly with metal lids. These are now ready for processing. Here I'm just using a large, deep stock pot that I've cushioned the base with an old tea towel just to stop them rattling around. Pack the jars in there. If you've got extra space, put something else in there to jam them up against each other, and then fill as high as you can, preferably over to the top, with water, cold water, and start to slowly bring that to just below the boil. When it gets to that temperature, put your timer on. For large jars such as that, it's 1 hour that you're going to be boiling them for. Once the preserving time is up, remove the jars carefully. Here I'm using a special tool, a jar lifter it's called. Let your jars cool down before you store them. You'll notice that the lids, once they're still hot, will be bulging at the top. As that cools down, you'll find that the lids get sucked in and a vacuum seal has been formed. Sometimes if the fruit has risen in the jars, it means you didn't jam them in really well, or the fruit may have been overripe to start with. Store them in a cool, dry spot in the pantry.